Good morning. Good morning, eyes forward. Good morning. We'll let people come in who are coming in from the outside. Welcome to the 2018 ODOT IT Conference. Thank you for joining us this morning. On behalf of ODOT Director Jerry Ray, Assistant Director for Field Operations, Dr. Sonia Simpson, and our Chief Engineer, Lloyd McAdam, I want to welcome you. I am happy to report that the state of IT at ODOT is strong, and it's trending upward. It's trending upward. Everywhere I go at central office, and sometimes even out in the districts, I hear very good things about our IT professionals here at ODOT, that our equipment is better than it's ever been, that service is up, that just generally there's a can-do attitude with the IT professionals here at ODOT, and I'm really, really excited to be a part of that and to help in any way I can. There's a saying that without vision, the people perish. Well, without good information, government agencies flounder, they shrink, and sometimes they even end up in the newspaper. So we're not going to have any of that with us because we are moving in a very positive direction. And speaking of vision, I want to let you know that we believe, Director Ray believes, assistant directors believe, that in Charles Ash, we have an IT chief who is really someone who's going to run through the tape, someone who is doing a fantastic job, and who has a vision for the future. So with my brief remarks, I just wanted to say thank you. You are in charge of one of the most valuable resources that any agency has. Number one, of course, is people. Then you have to have money, finances. But without information, the people and the finances really don't work all that well. So I want to share our thanks with you this morning and welcome Charles Ash to the stage.
Thank you very much. Let me get to the right presentation. It's a big one. I thought it was 563 megs, but I was wrong. It's 987 megs. So it might take a second here to start up. All right. So, welcome to the 2018 All IT Conference. We have people in IT from central office, from all of the districts, from planning, from traffic, from CAD mapping. So welcome to all of you. I don't know that it's ever been done where we brought, or at least attempted to bring all the people who do an IT function together in the same room at the same time. So thank you to the BNHRAs for letting this happen, because this is a serious undertaking. The rest of ODOT is without support today, right? And some of them are going to need their passwords reset. All right, so I know that you don't know, some of you don't really know me very well, so I thought that I would tell you a couple of stories. All right, so that's not the first story. This is the first story. So quite a few of you probably know that I'm an attorney, but when I was 13 years old, I wanted a 10-speed bicycle. I have 6 brothers and sisters, so at the dinner table, there are 9 people sitting around the table, and I sit, at that time, I sat to the right hand of my father, the very right hand, so within reaching distance of my father's hand. And at that time, it was perfectly possible to discipline your child with the use of the back of your hand. So I decided to ask my father for a 10-speed bicycle, and he very rapidly said no. And I said, I don't understand. My oldest brother, who's 4 years older than me, received your used car, the 1964 Buick Wildcat, which was a convertible, by the way. They gave it to him. My older sister, my father bought him a horse. her a horse, and had to build a barn for the horse, and had to feed the horse and put bedding down for the horse every month. My next oldest brother also received a horse. And I said, I'm just asking for a bicycle. And my father, so this was a risk, remember, he stood up and he left. And I didn't see him the rest of that night. But I know that 2 days later, I got a bicycle. Okay, so the idea was just that it didn't seem fair that I couldn't have a bicycle when everyone before me got some things. Now, this is me in 1980. So this is the second story. I got married in 1980, and this is the document that says that I'm married. Okay? It says that I'm married, and we had a ceremony. I mean, there were lots of people at the wedding. They all witnessed it, and all the people there think that we're married. It's great. That happened a long time ago. But I went to law school, and I read this language. Now, when you go to law school, they teach you a couple of things, and one of them is you're supposed to take a contract by the four corners of the instrument. This doesn't have any other context. It doesn't say not valid if not executed by the date, not valid if not executed within 60 days. It doesn't say anything. To me, it says that we're not married. And I bring this up to my wife on a somewhat regular basis because once a year I'm sort of expected to do something special on a specific date. And I tell her, we're not married. And she politely, she usually gets a little wry smile, looks at me and just says, eat your dinner. So the day, so hopefully that tells you a little bit about me. I don't know what else to tell you about me, but those things are kind of interesting things for me. Huh? I'm not married, I'm telling you. For 38 years, I'm not married. All right, so the agenda for today. This is the keynote. There's a breakout session after this one. At lunch, we're going to have food trucks. Then we'll have another, we'll have another keynote. Then we'll have a breakout session. Then I have UAS is going to come in. And I think they're going to fly their drone inside this room. I think they're bringing the inside one. Then we'll, when we break, then people can go back to their hotel or whatever. And then there's a reception over at the Embassy Suites. You're all invited to go to that. That's from 5:30 to 6:30. And at 6:30, then we'll have a barbecue here along with the T-shirt contest. There are 3 different awards for that. It's the nerdiest, it's the funniest, and it's the T-shirt that most resembles its wearer. So come out for that. There are a couple of room changes that we're going to have. So we're going to move a couple of the more heavily attended sessions into this room. So one of them is the Citrix is probably going to be in this room. And also the technology stack presentation will probably be in this room. So watch for that. Also, you'll notice that throughout some of these presentations, just like the opening one, that there are interactive parts, and we're about to have one right now. So if you get out your phones and do this, then you can participate in the interactive part of what we're going to do. All right, so do you still need that up, or you got it? All right, so while we're doing that, on the back of your badge, regardless of whether it's a handwritten badge or not, there's a QR code. The QR code can be used after each session so that you can give your feedback. Please do that. Please give your feedback. Just scan the QR code. You can stop and start, so after you give your information, you can just say save for later, and it will let you come back later to that. You only have to scan the QR code once. All right, let's see if there's anything else. All right, ready? There we go. You can probably see it on your phone. I don't know what's going on with the video. All right, so there we go. All right. Good words. All right, there's some good stuff going on, right? I think there's some awesome stuff going on right now. By show of hands, how many of you think that's because of me? I thought at least one person would do that. Jeez, oh man. So, you want to know what a CIO does all day? I'm going to tell you. I attend meetings. And I think that's really what I do in a day. So what do I think about? I think about people. I think about, how many of you know who Lucille Elizabeth is?
Put y'all's hands down.
This is Rudy Ward. You want to know what I like about Rudy? I mean, I think about her and I wonder, I think about why people like Rudy. I know why I like her. I like her because every time I've asked her to do something for ODOT, she does it. She may tell me all the reasons why I might not want to do that, but she will do it. I also think about people like Mike Blake. Mike Blake is the same way, right? He's got the same kind of spirit. He's going to do whatever we ask him to do. But with Mike Blake, we get a bonus. Mike Blake's not going to wait for me to ask him. If Mr. Blake sees something that is not quite right or something that's going on, and he knows he can take action to correct it, Mr. Blake does. Right? So Mike is going to take that extra step, and he's going to move on, and he's going to solve the problem. Now, if it's a big problem, he's going to call Kevin, or he's going to call me, and he's going to confirm before he does it. He's going to make that change, and then he'll do the change, right? I think about the past and present of IT. Now, how many of you know everything that's up there, right? We've got Windows XP, we've got Windows 7, Borland, Paradox, Delphi. When I came here, the first day I got here, they gave me a BlackBerry. I took the BlackBerry home. I couldn't use it. I came back the second day and said, get me something else. And so they did. And that's when we started down the iPhone route. But we have BMC Magic, gone. Lotus Notes, gone. So lots of things here that we no longer use. And then I think about the future of IT. Blockchain. We think about Docker, Ashto, Drive Ohio, the changes that Drive Ohio is bringing. This Android Pie, I don't even know what the heck that is, but I know that if Google is behind it, it's going to be a successful technology. I think about building teams, and what do we do to build teams? How many of you have ever seen the movie Gung Ho? It's an older movie. I think it was done in the 80s. And the premise that I'm going to show you is that the team that worked in this factory had a goal of 15,000 cars that they had to build by a certain date. And the scene here is the president of that manufacturing company coming to do the final inspection. And what you can't tell from the video is that they were running out of parts by the time they got to the 15,000th car. And right before this scene, that president had opened up the hood of a car, and instead of an engine, there was a person in there. And he was just shining it off in the side there.
Well, know something? I got one of the first cars ever made here. I got the first car.
I don't think I want it anymore. As a matter of fact, here. Why don't you take the keys, okay? I'd rather have one of those cars. I'd rather have one of these cars we made together by hand. Your guys and my guys together. You know why? Because those cars stand for something. Those cars stand for something pretty great. I'm proud of those cars. I'm taking one. Gentlemen, I'm going home in my new car.
Now they were 15 cars short because the last 15 cars had defects in them.
Tell you, I thought it handled great.
Here, Uncle. Here is everything that is substandard on all these cars. So, some wrist. Ah.
Good team.
Good men.
You will fix those before they leave the factory.
I will. I will.
I like you. You make me laugh. I don't see anything wrong with these cars.
Are you crazy?
Congratulations! 15,000 cars. Nephew, good luck in your new job.
And so that's the end of the movie. But so you see the jubilation of teamwork well done. Those two different cultures clashed, and they had to come together and they reached a target. I think about leaders, right? Who's going to be the next leader to step up? You know, who's going to be the next one who wants more, who wants to do more, who wants to be more? We have leaders stepping up to the plate right now. We have people like Dustin Brown and Josh Oswald and Kevin Hartman who are stepping up, and we have lots of other people who are stepping up to the plate to get to the next level and do the next thing. So I think about how we can grow our own leaders here in IT, and I'm always looking for leaders. And being a leader doesn't mean you have to manage people. It means that you take that one step more, to be more, to do more. And really, it's okay to not like an idea, someone else's idea, but stepping up and saying why you don't like it without being personal about it. It's just an idea, right? That's what leaders do. Leaders can take it or leave it, but they still are trying to advance the cause. That's a leader, and I'm always looking for leaders. So, why have an all-IT conference? Well, I had the idea some time ago to have this because I realized that there are a lot of people in the districts that never met the people in CO. And there's a lot of people at CO who have never been out to the districts. They've never been to a construction site. They've never spoken to a construction worker. There are people in our own building. Not all the people in IT know all the people in traffic or all the people in tech services or planning. And I thought, we're all carrying out this IT role. Why not get together and share our ideas and make sure that we're on the same page, but share a vision toward what that future is going to look like? So bringing everyone together. Now, so there are people in this room that you don't know. I'm sure of it. What I'd like for you to do right now is to turn around or look across and introduce yourself to someone you don't know. So that's one of the objectives. All right, come on. I have stuff to talk about. All right, so that's objective number one. Is for us to meet each other so that we can put a name to the face and know who we are, know who we're talking to when we call them on the phone. I am sure that there are people at central office and in the districts who have spoken with each other for years who've never met until possibly today. So I wanted to have us learn things together. And hopefully when you get out of here, you're going to go to the breakout sessions and you're going to learn something new, something you didn't know. I'm sure even the presenters learned things in putting together their presentations that they knew but didn't know, and now they know them, right? And so that was the second objective. The third objective is to share a vision together, and that is I'm going to share a vision, and my vision is just the way I see it. Okay, it's not set in stone by any means. You're going to help me build it. I don't work on the roads, right? So you're going to have to bring me that feedback. And I don't know all the technology. I just know some of what the technology can do. So we're going to build a vision together. And then to have fun, right? Hopefully throughout this, you're going to have a lot of fun. Whether that is learning, for some people learning is just a whole lot of fun. It is for me. Learning, eating together, having fun looking at a couple of cars. There's actually 2 Teslas out there. Hopefully you get a chance to take a look at those. But that's really what we wanted to do, is get us together to do all of these things. So what does that conference theme mean? Communicate, connect, and collaborate. Ever since I got here, which was 7 years ago, next week, I have been told that central office does not communicate well enough with the districts. And I definitely accept that. At the beginning, we were not good. We were not communicating very well with the districts. And we have changed a whole lot about the relationship between central office IT and district IT. I think we've also improved the communications between central office IT and other business divisions. And that's really one of the reasons why some of you are here, is so that we could continue to build that communication. But today I want you, and tomorrow I want you to connect. I want you to connect with each other. I want you to connect with the vision that we're going to have, and make sure that you know what we're doing and where we're going, so that we can collaborate together. It's going to take all of us to do the things that we're going to be expected to do in the next 5 or so years. There's a whole lot of things going on. I think now's the best time in the history of ODOT to be in IT. I think now's the best time in history to be in IT, in ODOT. Now's the best time in the history of ODOT to be in IT. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? There is a whole lot of stuff. This is the stuff that's coming down the pike. We have not seen quite the same way as it's going now. So I'm going to explain to you why I think it's changing and where I think we're going. How many of you know that I have a red car? I haven't told anybody, so I don't know how you all know that. I love this car, okay? But it's not so much a car as a computer on wheels. And I'm completely serious about that. There is no engine, doesn't have a 450 Hemi engine. It doesn't have traction bars, doesn't have a 4-barrel carburetor. It's only got 2 or 3 fluids in it at all, right? It has windshield washer fluid. It's got brake fluid. I think the CPU is water cooled, and whatever Freon is in the air conditioning system, I think those are the fluids in the car. The rest of it is motors, an electric motor, tires, sensors, and a steering wheel. So there's the side view. This is what you look when you open the car door. That's what you see. So notice the dashboard is a little bit different than your traditional car, right? There's no speedometer. There's no tachometer. Because the tachometer would be useless in an electric car. This is what you see when you're sitting in the car. That computer in the middle, that's the car, right? So there's no knobs, there's no dials, there's 2 little levers, one to put it in drive and one to turn on turn signal. That's it. So there's a different view of that. So this is what the general computer looks like, and you know, it's pretty straightforward, right? You can see what gear it's in. You can see the map, where the car is. But then you look at this. So this is basically a general settings view of the car, right? Does that remind you of anything? Does it potentially look like Windows 10? It's not running Windows, but you adjust things by drilling down into this general settings part, right? Here's how I adjust the mirrors. I choose that little button on the blue one says left mirror, right? And I can tell it where I want the mirrors to be just by pushing a little button. There is no manual control over it. It's all electronic. This one is the driving controls, right? So you go down the menu and you get to driving controls, and I can change it so that it's in sport mode, and I can change it so that the regenerative braking, which is the way it recaptures energy for the battery, I can put that on low if I want to. I can configure Autopilot. So this is the Autopilot configuration setting dialog box. It has a feature in there called Summon. This is where you configure Summon. The Summon doesn't have to be on, and I'm going to demonstrate what Summon is, but it's showing you what Summon does with that little box that's around the car. Oh, and by the way, this is the key. This is the key to my car. This is the key they give me. I don't use it. It mostly stays in my bag. This is my key. When I get this phone within about 10 feet of that car, it unlocks and is ready. I don't turn the car on. I don't turn the car off. I get in the car. I have this in my pocket. I simply open the door, get in, put it in drive, and go. Okay, when I get to my destination, I put the car in park, I open the door, I get out, and I walk away, and it'll lock. That's it. There's no on, there's no off. It uses sensors to tell where I am, where my phone is in proximity to that car. The same thing is used when I do Summon. Summon can be used to park my car in the garage from my phone. So I don't have to get in the car. I can simply do a Summon and tell it to back up out of the garage or go into the garage, and I don't have to be in there. It's useful in a mall parking lot when someone parks too close to your door and you can't get in. Back out the car. All right. So,
navigate to 1980 West Broad Street, Columbus, Ohio.
right, so that was, so you knew what it did, right? Google does the same thing. What Google doesn't do is tell you all this stuff. It tells me what my expected battery life is going to be when I get there, so that I can plan whether or not I want to make that trip, because my battery was kind of low when I did this. And then it can actually lead me through the steps to actually get to 1980 West Broad Street.
Play Pretender by the Foo Fighters.
Any Foo Fighter fans? You know that song? Oh, I love that song. All right, so that was Pretender. All right, so these are the navigational controls. I have it, yeah, so now I put it on auto. You see those two dots there? Now, I was trying to look at this through my phone, so I was missing the dot a little bit. But I just changed the airflow. So now the airflow is coming from my upper right on the driver's side and from the upper left on the passenger side. Now I split it in two, so it was on defrost, now it's on everything. And this one I'm going to put on the floor. I'm moving the airflow without touching a knob, right? All I'm doing is moving a couple of dots on a screen, and the airflow is changing real time with it. Remind you of anything? Only every application that you have on your computer has an about screen. This is the Tesla about screen. Ever heard of an Easter egg? Teslas have Easter eggs. So they're just goofy little things that you can do that are kind of, they call them bonuses. So here's the similarity, right? We have a Windows 10 settings interface, and for everything that's up there, you have to drill down into it to get to something. And you can see that there are several other layers. Everything on the left side of the screen drills down in. You see the similarities between my car and that? This is the next thing, right? My car gets updates. My car gets firmware updates over the air, and it tells me when it gets them, and it asks me when I want to install it. It's a computer, okay? This is a computer on wheels. These little spots that I put on there are all the sensors. So where are we going with all this, right? So the sensors on the front of the car. So look at this one. This part up here, see that? It's telling me how close I am to objects. Same thing over here. So now the object is up here, 19 inches away. The sensor's telling me that. So this one was in my garage and said, I need to stop or I'm going to hit the wall. This is auto park. So I basically pulled up to a perpendicular parking place, and it identified that parking space. You can see the P right there. Let's see. This P, if I can hit the right button, this P represents what it thinks is a parking space that's available. And all I had to do was push that button at the top that said start, and it started. It parked my car. This is another example of sensors, and you can see I was on the, we were on the increase when we took these pictures. But look at the traffic around the car. So there were 2 cars, there were 3 cars, there were 3 cars, all telling me what is around me. It's the sensors on the car. This car uses radar, LiDAR, Wi-Fi, wireless, and Bluetooth. Okay? I was at a McDonald's, and so there's a couple things. Look at in the upper left quadrant, it says 22 inches. On the back, it says 30 inches. That's how close I am to that drive-through wall. And I turned on the rear view camera. I could see the car behind me. I can turn that camera on at any time and watch what's going on behind me. It doesn't have to just be when I'm in reverse. I was in forward. I was in drive when I did that. So this is another example. This is summon. Notice there's no one in the car. It's about to turn. Pretty cool, right? This is Autopilot. My hands are not on the wheel. My foot is not on the accelerator. This is somewhere out on I-70, but I'm pointing out that it's about to show me what cars are going to appear. I just changed lanes without driving. I simply turned on the turn signal and it changed lanes for me. And I'm going to go back to the other lane. How is it doing all this? All right, so I'm going to back up here. It's important to realize what this is, because you don't have very much graphic area around it. This is me. Well, it's not me. You can't prove it's me. But what it is a speedometer in a Tesla that goes to 0 and then to a different number very fast. Oops. I don't know who did that. And I think there's no video properties to that either. So I don't know how, I mean, the deal is that car has sensors all over it. It does. So let's answer a few questions, because there's a lot going on in technology right now. So what's smart lane? So I think we got a B from somebody else, from the prior, hopefully. You can correct your answer, by the way. All right, what is V to I? Yeah, I'm with some of you on A. All right. What's blockchain? All right. What's a spat message? You guys are killing me. All right. What's AI? All right, what's FCW? All right, a couple more. Who's answering A? There's a word in there. It says and. The reality is No one here has ever worked on all of those technologies before, and most of you have not worked on any of them, right? No one's worked on blockchain here at ODOT. There are some of us that do some blockchain stuff, but we've never worked on blockchain. We've never worked on Docker. We haven't done AI. We haven't done those things, but we're going to, right? We're going to do those technologies. So how are we using technology today? We type our emails. We enter an incident into ServiceNow. We browse the web. We create GQL models, and then we execute them. So what if we change that? So this is a mock-up, okay? So we'll see how this works.
Yes, Charles. What can I help you with?
I need a new computer.
Would you like a laptop or a desktop?
Right? Do it.
Yes, Charles. What can I help you with?
My keyboard is broken.
Have you tried to reboot your computer to fix the issue?
Come on. Do it.
Yes, Charles. What can I help you with?
Can I purchase new software for my iPad?
Possibly. Let me get a few pieces of information from you, and let's find out.
All right, so 3 different contexts, right? We have a request for new equipment, a computer. We have an incident, a break-fix situation, and we have a request to bring new technology into ODOT's environment. These are 3 completely different contexts from an IT perspective, but not from a customer perspective, right? The customer just knows they want something, and to them, they just want something, right? So how do we get to the point where we can make this happen? We're going to take it to the next level. So right now, we're already we've done a reorganization of IT, right? We have our infrastructure group, we have a software production group. We split out database from software production. We split out third-party applications and the ServiceNow delivery team. We have a resource management division. We have a project management division. And we have now a new division called systems and data integrations, right? And we have a new concept called an architecture group. Now, this is a group of IT architects from 10 different disciplines that come together and review the work that we're doing here at IT. So, with that stuff, the things that we're doing to the organization to hopefully make it a little bit easier to get things done, what if we take that to the next level and we go, ODOT.
Yes, Charles. What can I help you with?
Show me all historical bridges in Ohio.
Okay, let me see if I can help.
So,
Would you like me to add this to your browser's bookmarks?
so how do we get here? It really should be pretty straightforward, right? TIMS is the application that we chose to open. Alexa, in theory, Alexa should be able to tell from the context of the request what to do. It should be able to determine whether it's a request, whether it's a break-fix incident, whether it's something new or a request for information. Now, in the last case, in the first 3 cases, I addressed the system as do it, because I was really asking do it for something. In the last case, I changed my context and I said ODOT. And so that will end up being probably one of the key words, is we change the context by use of the words that we start the conversation with, so it tells it what we're looking for. Now, how will we be able to do this? We've already started down this pathway. right? We're doing things like service catalogs in ServiceNow so that it identifies the things that we do as a service in IT. The Systems and Data Integrations group is supposed to catalog all the data and the integrations so that we know exactly what's in those inside those databases and inside those applications so that we can get the context, the key words upon which we can search with a speech engine, right? So recap that. So we had 4 different contexts. Now, does it sound far-fetched to you? Does it sound like it's a far cry away from what we're doing? Watch this.
Hey folks, so I had some time over the long holiday to do a little playing around, and I wanted to see if I could get Siri talking to ServiceNow. So I managed to do it using Siri proxy, and here's a quick video showing it working. Create incident.
What is the impact? Say 1.
Of course it's a 1.
Or 3.
1.
Please describe your issue.
This is a test of creating an incident in ServiceNow using Siri.
Okay, I created it 000066.
It is talking, you just can't hear
664.
Siri.
Okay, so let's come to ServiceNow. I'm just going to refresh my screen. And there's 664. You can see I've got my text in there. Siri doesn't like my southern drawl too much, but not much I can do about that. So we'll just change the state there so you can see I made a quick change. And let's look it up. Look up ticket. Come on. Try that again. Look up ticket.
What table is it in?
Incident.
What ticket number?
664.
One moment, please. Okay, here are some details about your ticket.
Okay, so there we go. So it's a little blurry, but you get the picture. There we go. So we've got the status, waiting user info. You can see that's the one we just changed. Priority, the caller, assignment group, assigned to, short description. So really you can pull anything into this. I even included our Fruition Partners logo down at the bottom. Pretty cool stuff. And there's one other thing. I added a little piece where I can update the work notes on a ticket, so we'll just do that. Update ticket.
Which ticket?
664.
What would you like to say?
This is a work notes update from Siri.
Your ticket was updated.
Okay, so now let's go pull that ticket up and scroll down. You can see this is a work notes update from Siri. So pretty cool stuff.
So you get the idea. It's not that far away. Matter of fact, so I got this clip. I made a statement on a Wednesday to endpoint computing team, and I said, wouldn't it be great if we did a mock-up of Alexa interfacing with ServiceNow? And my understanding when I left the room is that there was a whole lot of swearing. Now, I didn't ask them to code it. What I asked for was a mock-up, but they thought coding. So the following Monday, I get a link to this video, and I said, hey, he did it in the weekend. What kind of endpoint computing guys are you if you can't get this done by this afternoon? And by that afternoon, they actually did have a working conversation between Alexa and our ServiceNow instance. Okay, so I didn't ask them to develop that. I don't want them to develop it yet. But we're on the road to being able to do speech kind of interfaces to the things that we have here, and we need to buy a speech engine. So what's the point of all this? The point is that there's sensor technology all around us. My car can tell when I'm in close proximity to it. That car also talks to the road. It can talk to the road. It will be able to talk to the road. It talks to other cars. Okay, the road's going to talk back to it. That signal phasing and timing message, that wasn't just random spat up there. That is, the signals are going to tell us when the lights are going to turn green and red. Okay, so that the car knows whether to slow down well in advance of reaching the light. It's going to do that. Matter of fact, I see the world without traffic lights and without stop signs, because as these cars come along and they have all these sensors and they start using more and more technology, there won't be a need for stop signs. It'll just slow down and speed up based on the approaching traffic to the intersection. It's just going to happen. Well, it's not just going to happen. It's going to be us. We're the ones that are going to have to figure out a whole lot of the stuff to make that stuff work for the rest of the state. That's why we need for each of you to communicate. As we move down this pathway, we're going to have to communicate our ideas, where the flaws are, where the good parts, where the bad parts, all of that stuff. We're going to have to communicate to each other to get on the same page. We're going to have to connect to how we're going to get there, right? We're going to have to connect, and then we're going to have to collaborate. And we're going to have to collaborate within IT. We're going to have to collaborate with the districts, because a whole lot of this technology is not going to be inside central office control. It's going to be sitting out there in the districts along the roadway. So there's going to be a lot of collaboration between central office and districts, and there's going to be further collaboration between traffic, planning, and every other division, CAD mapping, every other division that has an IT function. We're going to have to collaborate, and even with those who don't have an IT function, like construction, where the rubber meets the road. Those guys are the ones that are going to be using the technology initially, and they're going to be laying the groundwork for putting all this technology out there, right? So it's a huge collaborative effort among all of ODOT. Remember, I don't do anything, right? I attend meetings, and I think. I don't do anything. I'm not going to be the one who sets up a server or disk storage. That's going to be Mike Blake. That's going to be Alan Grubb. Not going to be the one that develops software, right? That's going to be Alex, Anoop Alex. That's going to be Alex Stevens, Phil Riker, and those guys are going to do that. I'm not the one that's going to do the human interface to ServiceNow. That's Amrita. That's Shetty. That's Mike Jordan setting that up. I'm not going to be the one that makes sure that systems are available. That's going to be Bill Groves, and that's going to be Daryl New. And it's going to be those people. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do the one. I'm not going to be the one who knows where all the data is. That's Katie Wood. That's Melanie Marietti. I'm not going to be the one who optimizes those databases. That's Jinbo. That's Dustin. That's John Nance, right? I'm not going to be the one to pull the network cable or configure a router, right? That's Jack Taylor. That's Jerry. That's Rusty. I'm not going to be the one who manages the projects, right? That's going to be Kathy Hoffman. That's going to be Tom. It's going to be Ann. It's going to be lots of people, but it's not going to be me. I'm not going to be the architect. I'm not going to be the one that's going to architect any solution. That's Mike Jordan. That's Anoop Alex. It's all of our architects. And I'm not going to be the one that makes sure that we stay ahead of any of the security risks. That's Jim Dixon, that's Simon Herring, and that's the Tyler Mann. Those guys are going to help us do that stuff. You guys are going to be the ones who do all this stuff. So, we're really close to the end of this. I know you're about at your butt limit. So, how are we going to do it? Because there's a lot to do, and it doesn't all have to do with technology. It has really more to do with what I'm about to talk about than it does with the technology. How many of you went to the digital conference where General Beek gave his rules? It was at the Digital Summit several years ago. So it's kind of good that very few of you were there, because now you're going to get my flavor of it. So here's how we do it. Never stereotype your subordinates. Give them the attention they respect and rate as individuals. People who normally live up to or down to your expectations. So think highly of your people. Give them the benefit of the doubt and believe in them, okay? They will live up to your expectations. Never underestimate the effect that you as a leader have on the people around you, right? They are watching you. They watch everything. They catch everything, and they talk about everything. Let your people do their jobs. Right? right? What do? I attend meetings and I think. I don't tell Wally how to do his coding. I don't tell Josh how to run a third-party team. I don't tell Kevin how to configure a server. I don't tell Alan how to configure a server. Let your people do their jobs. They know how to do it. That's what we're paying them for. Let them do their jobs. To be a good leader, you have to be an effective manager. Where you sit, it's supposed to be sit, determines what you see. So if you sit far away in a corner, and you can't see your people, what do you see? This is a good one. Things are never as good or as bad as first reported. Take this one to heart, okay? It is not the end of the world if you have to reset a password. No, it doesn't matter who it is. It's not that bad. It'll be okay. And don't argue with an idiot. Now, this one is best explained by the general himself as, have you ever had an argument with a 3-year-old? I mean, really, have you ever had an argument with a 3-year-old? You can say, no, you can't have a cookie. But I want a cookie. But you can't have a cookie. It's time for dinner. But I'm hungry. I want a cookie. No, you can't have a cookie. Go, I want a cookie. You don't win that, right? You can't win against a 3-year-old. And really, you can't win against an idiot. You have to figure out another way. Okay, so don't argue with them, figure it out, work through it. So now we have my maxims. These are not my rules, these are just my maxims. And this is things that I live by, and you should be able to tell. If you ever catch me on the wrong side of one of my maxims, you should point it out to me. Okay, don't be afraid to make a decision. As far as I know, no ODOT employee has ever been fired for making a decision to try to do the right thing for ODOT. Okay, I can't validate that, but I'm pretty sure it's true. I've never seen anyone fired for trying to do the right thing by and for ODOT. So, don't be afraid to make a decision. Show me. Show me what you can do. I can tell you that I only really know 2 levels of people, right? So I know the people who are high performers, and I know the people who are low performers, because that's what people talk about to me. They tell me, hey, that guy's outstanding, hey, that guy's outstanding, or they go, that guy is crap. So I get the 2 there. So show me what you can do. Show me that you want to do more. Tell the truth, because if you don't tell the truth, that lie is going to kick your butt. Okay, it's not worth it. Just tell the truth. And look at maxim number 1. Don't be afraid to make a decision. Just tell the truth. It's fine. Tell me your position. You don't have to be mean about it. Just tell me your position. You can disagree with me. You should be able to disagree with each other and not take it personally, right? Tell me your position so that we can get through it and go. Don't take it personally. Right? This is business of ODOT, and while I'm excited to be here and excited about IT and excited about the future, don't take it personally if we don't go your way. I won't take it personally if we don't go mine. And believe me, I've been told not to go my way before. So don't worry about being right. Worry about doing the right thing for ODOT. It's way more important to do the right thing for ODOT than to be right. So think about that and be a leader wherever you are. Being a leader is not being a manager. It's not being the CIO. You can be a leader wherever you are. All you have to do is take another step, right? Learn a new technology, learn something that helps ODOT, and help get to the next step. That's being a leader. It goes kind of back to Beek's principle where he is saying that people are watching you. Basically, if you demonstrate that you want to do more, other people will see that you want to do more, and they will want to do more. All right, so we're embarking on a new journey. Missy, Kevin, Josh, come up here, please. And all of my team. I think I have 4 more. Anne. Yep. So we're embarking on a new journey. It's a new journey full of promise. And we're here today to empower you to do the right thing for ODOT, to make the right decisions, to take the next step, to go beyond where we are, to learn some new technology, and to help us get to where we're going. Remember, 6 years ago, we were using Ghost to put images down on computers, okay? It only took 5 years for the car to in a major way, replace the horse and buggy, okay? In 5 years, ODOT's going to be a whole different thing. We're going to be running a whole lot of technology that no one here knows how to do. No one. No one knows how to do Docker. No one knows how to do AI. No one knows how to do blockchain. No one knows how to do all these sensors that we're going to have. But today, we are empowering you to do the right thing for ODOT, to learn these things, to come up with a better way to do the things that we do here at ODOT. So, we're empowering you to do the right thing. So, any questions? All right. So, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I hope you have fun at this conference today and tomorrow. And here's a bonus for you. That was a Tesla. So watch again. It's going to come by in slow motion. They're going to run it again. It is a Tesla Model S. So it's not a Model 3, but it is a... Here it comes. Yes, it is airborne. What? So, we're done. Thank you very much.